It happened at my brother's anniversary dinner. Laughter, champagne, the clink of cutlery. Everything looked perfect until I excused myself to the restroom. That's when she appeared, a stranger. She gripped my wrist and whispered, "Your stepmother has put something in your drink." Her voice was steady, urgent. I didn't ask questions, I just listened. When I returned to the table, I smiled. I lifted my glass, and with one subtle movement, I swapped mine with hers. 20 minutes later, the room gasped. My stepmother's face went pale, her hands trembling as she reached for air. Everyone was in shock. Everyone but me. Hashtag, when my father remarried, I tried to welcome her. I told myself she'd be good for him, good for us. But behind the smiles, she was venom. She made small cuts that no one else saw. Whispers to my father about my attitude, lies about my spending, accusations so soft they sounded like concern. And slowly, he started to believe her. The distance grew. She wanted me gone, erased, not just from the house, but from the will. And my father, blinded by her sweetness, let her sharpen the knife. I learned to live in the shadows of my own family, watching, listening, waiting. Her attempts weren't new. I'd seen her slip pills before, into tea, into wine. She always had an excuse when the illnesses began. My father's dizzy spells, my aunt's collapse at a holiday dinner. Nothing ever traced back to her. But that night, it was me she targeted. The stranger's warning wasn't a surprise. It was confirmation. Proof that I wasn't paranoid. Proof that she'd crossed the line from manipulation to murder. And instead of fear, I felt something colder. Resolve. I didn't panic. I didn't make a scene. I returned to the table like nothing happened. My stepmother was mid-laugh, her hand resting lightly on my father's arm. My glass glittered in the candlelight. I reached for it. Paused. Then, as if distracted by the toast, I placed it gently by her plate, picked up hers instead. She didn't notice. She was too busy watching me, and I was watching her. Minutes passed. The music swelled. Speeches were made. My brother kissed his wife's hand. And then it began. My stepmother's smile faltered. Her skin grew pale. She dabbed her lips, then her forehead. Her hand trembled against the napkin. "Are you all right?" my father asked. She tried to speak, but the words stumbled out, broken and slurred. Her fork clattered against the plate. The room shifted into chaos, voices rising, chairs scraping, someone calling for help. I stayed seated, calm, sipping my drink, because in that moment, I wasn't her victim. I was her mirror. She looked at me then, really looked, eyes wide, realization dawning as the dizziness took hold. It wasn't supposed to be her, it was supposed to be me, and she knew it. I leaned closer, my voice low enough for only her to hear. "Be careful where you place your poison." Her lips parted, but no sound came, just panic, just fear, and in her silence, I found peace. The paramedics came. They carried her out, my father frantic at her side. My brother shouting for answers, my sister-in-law clutching her pearls. But no one looked at me. No one saw the calm in my eyes, the steadiness of my hands. I played my role, the concerned daughter, the supportive sibling. I nodded, I comforted, I stayed quiet. Because revenge isn't always fire and fury. Sometimes it's a glass, a smile, and 20 minutes of patience. She thought she could erase me. Instead, she erased herself. Everyone was in shock. Everyone but me.